Hello, good morning.
Uh, Hi, sorry, just missed the call. I literally was away from my phone. You were just calling me.
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Hello? Yes, can I help you?
Hi. Yes, you just called me.
Yeah, I had a missed call from you, actually.
Sorry, sorry. This is Giulio Segantini. We don't know each other. I was actually cold calling you, but it was a well-researched cold call. Do you mind if I briefly explain why I was reaching out?
Yeah, please, yeah.
Basically, I'm a cold calling trainer. So I typically get invited by MDs or sales leaders that I've noticed that the salespeople are struggling to get on the phone. They either hide behind emails and LinkedIn or simply are coming up with excuses. Alternatively, they get on the phone, but the objections are the real issue, meaning they don't challenge the status quo of prospects and therefore they don't book enough new meetings.
Uh-huh.
But this might be the part where you tell me you've got some law-abiding salespeople. They never miss a beat when it comes to cold calling, and then my research is all wrong.
Right, yeah.
So I'm wondering whether either of these problems are something that you see in your world.
Of course, yeah. I mean, cold calling is a skill, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? And because I used to do it myself, I sort of often welcome having a conversation with somebody that's cold calling me, depending upon who they are. But you're right, it's a real challenge, for people. So you train people to handle the objections, do you? Or you train people to do the research, and what exactly do you do?
So if I mention it specifically around these two problems, so it's either helping them get rid of that fear of getting on
Uh-huh.
the phone and coming up with all the best excuses on the planet, and at the
hmm
same time having that conversation around the prospect objections. Which one of the two would you say is the most relevant in your world?
Just repeat that again. What are the two options?
So it's either the call reluctance, so they're coming up with every excuse in the book to instead of getting on the phone, or they get on the phone but they're not having the good conversations that turn into meetings.
Probably a bit of both, depending upon who. I mean, I've got a number of different businesses actually. And what business are you phoning? Where did you get my number from? And what are you phoning? What was your research on my business?
So if I mention that I got your number by Googling the best managing directors of accounting firms, you probably tell me that you don't believe that.
Right. Well, believe it or not, I'm not actually in accounting as such, but I run a couple of companies. One of my So what company is it that you found?
I was looking at the CH4B specifically.
CH4B. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got a few companies, CH4B being one of them.
hmm
Um, And yes, we do have those challenges, of course, in that company, and also have a few other companies where we do various sort of marketing. And then I say cold calling. Some of it's cold calling, some of it's sort of semi-cold, obviously.
hmm
We sort of warm the clients up with a number of different marketing initiatives before we call them. So what are you saying, that you sort of provide a training for these people, do you? Or?
Yes. So if I told you specifically training, so helping them develop those skills and those habits to get rid of these two problems, how would
Okay,
that
and
sound for you?
how do you do that? How
Sorry,
do you do it?
when you say how, what do you mean exactly? What would you like to
Yeah,
know?
would you do it do you do it through sort of online training, or do you do it in person training, or do you do it through a course, or how do you facilitate that?
It sounds like you'd rather pick me either the online or face to face. Which one is the one you prefer?
Well, it'd probably be online, because most of my guys are spread all over the country. So
hmm
whereabouts are you
Uh, uh,
based?
okay, that's good. Well, so if I mention I'm actually calling you outside of the UK, but I only
Oh
work
right,
with
okay.
UK businesses online. Does that sound like a good match?
Well, it could be. Whereabouts are you based?
Bucharest, Romania,
Oh
specifically.
right, okay.
Yeah,
Um,
I quite like the nice food and slightly warmer weather.
no problem. And so you provide online training, yeah? So tell me how that works. Tell me what you do. And I'll tell you what to do. I'm actually just out and about at the moment, because I'm actually going up to London to meet some clients in a bit.
Oh, nice,
Um, but
nice.
um, but look, Probably a good thing is if you drop me some details and then maybe give me a call back. Probably not today. Just thinking, if you could drop me some details, maybe call me back early next week. I've got a funeral to go to tomorrow, and it'll give me time to read it over the weekend, and then maybe give me a call back on Monday or Tuesday. I'm happy to have a conversation with you.
Okay.
It is something that that I'm in the process of looking at in developing a few people that we have. So there's a potential opportunity to have a conversation.
Okay. Look, I'm more happy to drop you an email. I believe I've got it. Is it right?
Yes.
Do you mind if I ask a cheeky question before I send the email?
Go on.
Would you want your salespeople trained by a trainer that sends you an email instead of getting you on a call?
What you send them an email rather than actually get them on and train them in person?
No. I mean, would you want your salespeople trained by a trainer that sends you an email instead of keeping you on the phone?
Oh, I see what you mean. Well, I think there's different routes, isn't there? I think sometimes it can be done by email, sometimes it needs those follow-up calls, or sometimes a combination of both.
Oh, and have you ever received an email that was better than a conversation?
Well, some emails are good, obviously, but have I ever received an email that's better than a conversation? Well, I suppose I've had emails that are better than some conversations.
The conversation were really bad then, basically.
It's a difficult question, actually, a bit of both, you know.
Well, look, what I'm trying to get at is, like, of course, I'm more than happy to send you an email, but would it be a terrible idea to schedule some time to discuss this, and then I can actually run you through the training? And if by the end of it you think it's nonsense, then we can leave it there.
I see what you mean. I'm happy to have a call with you. I just wanted to see what the outline was of what you were proposing before I invest any time with you. I am interested, so I wouldn't say that I'm not interested, but I'd like to see just an outline of what it is that you do, and then perhaps we can follow up with a call. I'm actually on the road for the next until next Friday. I'm off to Poland for a few days on Friday, but I am working from my hotel a couple of days next week on my laptop, so I can potentially catch up with you on one of them. We could fit something in on one of them days, but I haven't got my diary to hand at the moment anyway. Okay,
so let's do this, if that's okay with you. I'll drop you an email because I've got everything, my pricing, everything is on my website, so you can take a look at that. Build a social proof, all the things. I'll send you a connection request on LinkedIn, so you can see I'm not some guy in underpants calling you from a basement. And
yeah, that's fine.
And finally, I'll also drop you an invite for whichever days you're in the hotel in the morning. If you read the email, you think, okay, pricing is crazy, or I don't like this guy, then you can cancel that. Is that fair?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's fine.
Which days are you definitely going to be?
Well, I'll tell you what. You haven't got an email from me, because on my email, I've got a Calendly where you can access my diary and just book it straight in. So if you send me an email, I'll drop you back an email which will have my Calendly on the bottom of it. You can just click that and book it in when I'm free.
Perfect. Okay, that sounds even better then.
All right, and then you can literally just access my diary through you click the Calendly logo at the bottom of my email, and it'll take you straight there.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. Do you mind if I ask one last weird question before I go?
Go on.
What's your favorite pizza topping?
Pineapple.
Are you joking?
No, why?
I'm Italian.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
My wife speaks Italian, actually. You're Italian, are you?
I'm Italian. I'm 100% Italian. I don't sound the typical Italian, but I am Italian.
Well, my wife speaks Italian, actually, but no. When you first asked me the question, I'm like, what would that be? But yeah, no, definitely pineapple.
Has she not divorced you?
Sorry?
Has she not divorced you for that? Oh, but she's not Italian. She just speaks Italian. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it in the subject of the email so it doesn't get lost. And then I'm going to just drop you the information we discuss. And then
listen, I get about 120, 150 emails a day. So just make sure you mark it clearly, so that I don't just
Oh, it'll
miss
say
it.
pineapple in the subject, so you will not be able
Okay,
to miss
fine.
that.
Okay, fine. Okay, okay. What was your name again?
Giulio Segantini.
Julio. I'll catch up with you again very soon. Yeah.
All right. Have a good day. Safe traveling.
Thanks. Bye
Bye-bye.
now.
Ciao, ciao.